Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Desiree. I feel like every time I get back on here, it has been a while, so won't even say it. But today's video, I wanted to talk about my pregnancy journey. If you can't tell by the title, I am pregnant. And I have a couple of questions I wanted to answer, and then some of the questions lead into like a story time. So I have to like give a lot of background to even answer some of these. So basically this is gonna cover my journey so far, and I can always do update videos the further I go, like the further along I get. But yeah, we're currently in my bedroom, and after this I'm gonna go to bed. This is kind of like, I wanted to get personal with whoever's watching. If I can be helpful to someone, then I don't know. That's why I like talking and sharing. Like, I love to talk and I love to listen. So if you have any questions, please like feel free to ask me anything, and I'm gonna be very open. I have not talked about a lot of things with my pregnancy. I share a lot of pictures and stuff, but I haven't told a lot of people a lot of things that have happened with this pregnancy and mine and Lionel's journey. So I plan on being very open and honest. So let's get started. The first question I have from Instagram, I put like a poll, was how did you react when you found out you were pregnant? So this is my first pregnancy, like this is my first baby, but this is where the story time comes in. So me and Lionel, my husband, got married back in April, so like, I don't know, a couple months ago this year, and we knew right away we were gonna want to try to have babies as soon as we were married. That was kind of all we were waiting for, because we've been together since we were sophomores in high school. So we knew that we wanted to start trying right away. And okay, I'm not gonna cry. So the first time, basically I'm pregnant with my rainbow baby. If you don't know what a rainbow baby is, it is when you had a miscarriage and then you get pregnant, and the rainbow baby is when you have your baby after you've had miscarriages before. It could be a miscarriage or more, whatever. So this is our rainbow baby, and we miscarried twice before this. So the very first time I found out I was pregnant was back in like May. Like, it was right after our honeymoon. We were very much trying, like tracking my ovulation, everything. Found out I was pregnant, cried, very emotional, because I wanted it so bad. And the first person I told was his sister. We're just really close, and we always hang out. Like, even back then, especially, we were like gym buddies, and we were always together every single day. So I needed to tell someone when I found out right away, and I couldn't tell Lionel right away because I wanted to be cute when I would tell him. So I went to go pick her up, and I pretended we were going to the gym, which we did, but that was like my way of seeing her to tell her. And I told her in the car, and we were just like crying, but I wasn't, like, I wanted to be sure, so I wanted to take another pregnancy test because the line was kind of faint, but it was there. And so we went to the gym. We literally went to a Sporta, and I took another pregnancy test at a Sporta, and I was pregnant. And I'll literally insert a picture of us crying. I still have it. And yeah, so I found out I was pregnant. I decided to tell him right away. So that night we had went to Target. We got all this little cute stuff, the little letter boards that said like, you're gonna be a daddy, and like some socks and stuff. And he was like shook. He was like when he saw it. And we were really excited. We actually jumped the gun and like told our parents, both of our parents, right away. And then that's when that kind of like backfired. Like literally my first pregnancy lasted me like a week because I went to work, and then literally the Friday of going back to work, I thought I was spotting because it had bleeding, and then it turned to be a miscarriage. And it really hurt me, because as much as people tell you how common it is, and as much as you can hear it from your family and your friends that have gone through it, it is so hard. It doesn't matter how far along you were, like, it hurt and it was scary. And then it just makes you wonder what you did wrong, blah, blah, blah. Literally the next month, June, we got pregnant again. And this time I told him like right away, because I was like nervous because of the first miscarriage. And he's like, "Are you sure?" And this time we were very doubtful, like, "Are you sure you're pregnant? Like, let's make sure." So we took tests together. It was a lot darker this time. Like, we were pretty sure. This one, I went to the doctor. They confirmed it. We had our first ultrasound scheduled, and literally, like, I think I got to I was about to turn 7 weeks. So I was at work during summer school. I remember being at summer school, and I had a lot of pain in my lower stomach. And then when I was like trying to wait it out, because as a teacher, like, you can't go to the bathroom and leave your kids in the class by themselves, like unsupervised, while you're in the bathroom. So I had like waited out my pain in my stomach all day. And then when they all left, I went to the bathroom, and I had like TMI, okay, but I had like bled through my whole outfit, and it was really scary. I knew something was wrong. The very first miscarriage wasn't even that much. So I started crying. I started freaking out. I called my husband, and immediately he got out of work, and we went to the ER. And this one was a lot more traumatizing. To make sure, they did a bunch of ultrasounds. They did the regular ultrasound. They did the vaginal ultrasound. That day was like traumatizing. And yeah, so that was the second time, and we had a miscarriage, and that one was painful. That one hurt more because it was like I had a second chance, and then I lost it again. And then I really started like getting scared. After 2 miscarriages, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what if I can't have kids? And like started getting like beating myself up. And then like I remember some people saying like, it's because you go to the gym, and like kind of just, I don't know, I felt like I was doing something wrong, or that it was my fault, or maybe that I wasn't going to be able. So at this point, we were I felt like I was depressed. I was really sad and scared. I started gaining a lot of weight, and we decided, after talking to someone in my family, that we were going to stop trying the way we were trying. Like, we were going to stop tracking my period, stop being so to the T, because what I've learned is everything is in God's hands, and I had to sneeze. So we decided to take a step back and stop being so planning, like, and let it happen the way it was gonna happen. Like, everyone always says that these things happen, like, we weren't trying to just happen, like, it's God's plan. And that's how we decided to take it from there. So this was back in June. I miscarried like mid-June. So then we went on a trip, and in July, that's when I found out I was pregnant. I had come back from some trip, and we weren't trying, right? Like, we weren't looking at ovulations and stuff. But because of miscarriages, like, it gets confusing. Like, I was trying to expect my period, and I was like, my period hasn't come. I feel weird. Like, I was almost like feeling like I was pregnant again. But then I was so like, I can't be. Like, I haven't even had a period since having a miscarriage. Like, it was literally, I miscarried and then I got pregnant. So come July, like mid-July, late July, I got pregnant. It was the morning of a game, like a volleyball game that I was coaching, and I wanted to take a test because I felt like I was going crazy. Like, I had a feeling that I just felt it in me that I was. And I took a test, and literally, kid you not, as soon as I looked at it, it was positive. And I was like, oh my God. And it's like my real reaction to this pregnancy. I'm sad to share that I wasn't like, yay, like all excited and happy, and it wasn't the perfect reaction because I miscarried 2 times before. So, I was actually emotional. I started crying because I was like, okay, like mentally almost preparing myself, like, okay, like let's go through this again. Like, I wanted it so bad and I wanted to be happy, but I also was tired of getting happy about it and then getting so heartbroken if something were to happen. And then I was scared to even tell my husband because I felt like he felt the same way. So I ended up telling him that day, and he was like, book an appointment. We need to see a doctor. Like, we're gonna be like on top of this. And so I booked an appointment, and the doctor confirmed I was pregnant again. We scheduled an ultrasound. We had to wait a couple weeks. I found out when I was like 6 weeks or something. So then when we went to the ultrasound, they found the baby, and like I feel like that was our moment of like, I feel like that was our true reaction, like, because we needed to know it was real. So that's when we were like very emotional, crying. Obviously after that we were happy, and we decided to be like, you know what, from now on we are only going to be positive. Like, I don't care what my history is, I don't care how many times, I've miscarried, but we're going to be positive about this. We are only going to be happy about it. We're not going to think about the what ifs, because thinking about the what ifs just stresses you out, and I feel like it's never good. So ever since then, this was back in July, so we have been very positive and just talking about the future, and very, very, very happy. We wanted this so bad. And then I found out his due date was my birthday, March 28th. And when I heard that, it almost felt like this is the one. Like, this one's gonna make it. This one, like, it just is already different. It's special. Like, God wanted it to happen this way for some reason. So yeah, that's I'm so sorry, like a long story, but I feel like you wouldn't understand my reaction and why it was like that unless I told you my history before. My other question I have is, how was first trimester? My first trimester, I just got into second trimester. I'm currently 21 weeks, so I'm like almost like 5.5 months. My first trimester was kind of trash. It was really annoying. It started out great. Like, in the early first 10 weeks, it was easy breezy. I didn't feel different. I felt good, and I was like, hey, I'm good, like, no symptoms, blah blah blah, like, talking too soon. And then after I got to like 11 weeks, nausea came hard for me. Like, I had it every single morning, but it would happen like before work. And because of my friends, I was like, this isn't bad. Like, at least I'm only in the morning and I can like go through my day at work and not be nauseous. And then it like kept amping up. Then it was like morning before work, like on my way to work, in the car, lunch. Like, I started getting triggered by smells, and my kids at my school eat in my classroom. So every time I was in the classroom, like, I've thrown up in front of my kids. It was so much just nausea. And then I also had a few days at work where the nausea because I was throwing up and then I wasn't able to keep food down, there were a couple of days where I got pretty sick and like I felt like passing out. So there was a couple of bad days at work too, where I just felt sick a lot. Like I felt very sick and weak, and it was really draining. But first trimester, yeah, it was pretty rough. And the full first trimester, and it went a little bit into like second trimester. My nausea didn't stop until like last week, and I'm 21 weeks. So it took me like 20 weeks to like stop throwing up. Yeah, but much worth it. Another question I have was, how long do you plan to work? As far as like during my pregnancy, I would like to work up to my due date if possible. My due date's March 28th. Right now we're in November, like right before Thanksgiving. So I plan to keep working up to March. Like that's my plan. Also, I don't get maternity leave. I don't get any pay. So once I go on maternity, I go into no pay. So it also is like, the longer I can stay working, the better for me, because I'm gonna have to go quite some time without pay because my due date is at the end of the year. So it's like the last couple months and summer. So it's just it's a long time to go with no pay and like still cover my bills. Like I still have life to pay for. So I'm gonna go as far as I can. And then the last question I have is, will you go back to work after he's here? And yeah, I'm having a plan. But probably. I will probably go back to work. I'm only 23. It's our first baby, and I want us to be set up for the future really well. Like, I don't want to put a lot on my husband right now. He probably could if I really wanted to work from home, but I think I'd rather have us be comfortable and have more. We want like 3 kids, so get all of our family done and set us up for a more comfortable life later. So I probably will go back to work. I teach, so I'd probably be at home with the baby from like the end of March, more like April, May, June, and then my school goes back early in July. So I would probably go back to work when he's like 3 to 4 months. But yeah, that's the plan. But that was a lot. But I'm overall just really happy to be pregnant and to have a baby soon, and I can't wait to see Lionel as a dad. I feel like he is amazing. Like, this is not one of the questions, but I feel like I'm more and more in love with my husband now, because ever since I got pregnant, he has just become such a like a gentleman times 20. Like, he does anything for me. He is like always giving me affection, like way more than before, and making sure like if I need something, he drops it and does it. Like, it's just been really nice. And seeing how he is when the baby's still in my belly, like I can only imagine what he's gonna be like when the baby is here. So I just had to say that because I don't really film a lot with Lionel in here, but he's been amazing support. We finally have our own house, so I just feel like everything worked out better for the good. So we're just super excited, and I wanted to thank all of you guys who have been watching me along the journey and been helpful and like asking me if I'm okay and checking in on me. So yeah, if you guys ever have any other questions or want more videos, I know some people want to hear like how I'm doing every trimester. I can definitely do that. So feel free to drop comments or recommendations or questions or anything. I am an open book. I love to communicate to people, so don't feel scared to ask me anything. Like, I will share anything to help anyone out. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Just a little talking session. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, I'm gonna try to stick to uploading more often. Thanks guys. Bye.